Hey everyone, Eugene here again from Blue Rabbit. Welcome to part 2 of our stablecoin series. Last time we covered what stablecoins are and why they matter. Today I want to dive into the really big reason stablecoins are going to be dominant in conversations across the boardrooms and at dinner tables for years to come, and what that means for all of us. First, some context. The US dollar is devaluing. We need more of it every year to buy the same things. Yet, paradoxically, the dollar's importance in global trade and finance is not shrinking, it's actually growing. How can the dollar be losing value at home but expanding its reach abroad? The answer lies partly in stablecoins and how they have become a new bridge into US debt markets. To understand this shift, let's briefly rewind. For decades, the dollar was anchored by the gold standard. Gold reserves placed natural limits on how many dollars could be printed. When the US left the gold standard in 1971, something else had to take its place. That role was filled by oil priced in dollars, the so-called petrodollar, and by the depth of US Treasury markets. Together with the SWIFT network for global payments, that kept the dollar as the world's reserve currency. This flywheel worked like this. Countries needed US dollars for trade. They then recycled those dollars into US treasuries, and that demand kept the system running. Fast forward to today, we're entering a new phase. Stablecoins like Tether's USDT and Circle's USDC are digital dollars backed by US treasuries and cash reserves. Every time a new stablecoin is issued, its issuer buys more treasuries. That means stablecoins create direct, steady demand for US government debt. This is revolutionary. For most of history, sovereign states and large institutions were funding US debt. Now, through stablecoins, small businesses and even individuals around the world are indirectly financing the US government. A small importer in Nigeria, a freelancer in Argentina, or a saver in Turkey can all hold US dollar stablecoins. In doing so, they are effectively holding slices of US treasuries. For many in emerging markets, stablecoins are a salvation anchor, a way to protect savings from local inflation while still participating in global trade. But let's talk about consequences. As stablecoin issuers keep buying treasuries, the Federal Reserve faces less pressure to keep interest rates high to attract foreign buyers. This weakens one of the traditional checks on US monetary policy. The US can expand its balance sheet more easily because stablecoin demands soak up the debt. Global demand for dollar stablecoins keeps the system afloat, but it also accelerates US dollar devaluation. And the numbers are striking. In the past 20 years, the US dollar has lost 40% of its domestic purchasing power. Compared with the Swiss franc, it has lost 60%. Against gold, almost 90%. That's an annual devaluation of 4 to 8%, hidden beneath the surface of global dominance. Stablecoins extend the life of this system, but they don't change the underlying erosion. Taken together with the prospect of a less independent Fed, and we may be talking about a perfect storm for US dollar devaluation. Geopolitically, other countries are trying to challenge this model. China has launched this digital renminbi. The BRICS countries are exploring regional stablecoins. Japan and Hong Kong are testing their own versions. Others are coming. But for now, the US dollar stablecoin remains dominant. They are reinforcing American monetary influence even as the value of the dollar itself keeps sliding. So what does this mean for investors and business leaders? First, stablecoins are no longer fringe experiments. They are becoming core infrastructure, used for liquidity, cross-border payments, and as a source of yield. Second, They're not altering the balance sheets of companies and individuals worldwide. Holding stablecoins is not just holding digital cash, it's participating in US debt markets. And third, they open new opportunities. Faster payments, lower fees, access to decentralized finance protocols that can generate yield. But with these opportunities come risks. The weakening of traditional monetary checks means investors must constantly weigh yield against devaluation risk. Put another way, getting 4 to 5% yield on your cash reserves would have previously kept your purchasing power stable. We may be heading into a world where the new normal is a faster erosion of US dollar buying power. So you may benefit from changing how you think about preserving your lifestyle or savings. So what can you do? Stay aware, learn how stablecoins are structured and how to hold them safely, explore the opportunities in lending, liquidity, and yield, but do so with a clear view of the risks. And finally, recognize that this is not a side story. It is becoming the backbone of a multi-trillion-dollar financial revolution. At Blue Rabbit, we're working on solutions to help businesses and investors navigate this shift. But the first and most important step is awareness. The dollar may be devaluing, but through stablecoins, its influence is spreading further than ever. The question I'll leave you with is simple. In this next chapter of global finance, will you be a spectator or a participant? Thanks for joining me in this series. Anything you want to cover next? Drop your ideas and comments, send us a message, and let's keep exploring together. Thank you for joining us for this chat. Catch you soon.